Hi guys, what we have here is a Filmosound amplifier, and what's really interesting, there's two particular things interesting about this amplifier. Is the first one is that it's EL84, which is kind of like the holy grail of the Filmosound, slightly rarer to find. But what's more interestingly for me as an Englishman is that this is 240 volts, and therefore I can play it in the pubs and clubs up and down England and not have to worry that I've forgotten my step up, step down transformer, which I quite often do when I'm taking my other ones out. So the other ones I have are 50s and also 60s, which I'll talk about in a minute, but this one was the last year of manufacture before they went full transistor. So what that means is, say I think this one is in 1966 if I remember, and in 67 they went full transistor, so it looks the same, however there's no tubes on top of the amplifier. So they did away with the tubes and they went to transistor, totally transistor. Now the year before this, so say for example this is 66, 65, the only difference was it ran at 220 volts and you had an EF86 valve here on the right, which is omitted on this year later model, which is obviously that part of the circuit's solid state now. So when I do get this modified in the USA, I may decide to put in the EF86 if it's all doable, just because it's nice to have an extra valve in there, and that's my opinion on that. But otherwise, this is, for me, it's a godsend, because it just means that I don't have that hassle of the transformer. And even though the year before is at 220 volts, here in England, if you go to the north of England, I've heard it can be 250 volts, so you're pushing 30 volts extra into the amplifier, and that might be bad news. So really, if you've got the 220 volt model, you really need to be using it with some kind of a step up transformer. I think that's right. So so this is really cool. This thing here is some kind of an input or something, maybe for the oscillator circuit, that's the valve that's missing at the back. So we have two EL84s here, we have two 12AX7s, and then this is a 6CA4. Can't remember the USA label for that, but that is probably the rectifier tube, I would guess. I'm not sure. It's very simple. Obviously you've just got your on and off switch here. Start turning that up. It's a bit crackly. I guess that's something we'll sort out with a modification, and we'll put a light on there as well, just so that we can see what we're doing. We know when it's off and when it's on. And this is just your volume. So let's just hear it. This is in its totally raw form, without being modified, just as I got it from a lovely old gentleman who lived in Kent when I bought it. And he proceeded to show me in his garage, where he kept this thing, some old cine footage of his family in the 1960s. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that I was going to rip out the projector part of this and use it for rock and roll. But he was just happy that he could pass it on and it would be used. So let's just hear some sounds. I've got my Coodercaster here. We're going to just be on this pickup, and let's play some Raikuda. a lot of rattling going on, and that just basically, if you're going to use a speaker in this case, then it's a bit of a nightmare because you have to kind of work out where your rattling is coming from and dampen everything. It could be the speaker, which is probably a Goodman speaker. It says Bell Howell on the speaker here, but that's probably not the Jensen that the American ones were issued with. Here in England, they gave them issued them with Jensens. Goodmans. And the rattling could be coming from the speaker. It could be coming from this box. You can actually kind of hear that rattling. But the good news is that it's working. It sounds really fantastic, and it's going to sound even better when it's modified. So and it's just running very happily, just off the here off the mains, which would be around 240, and it doesn't seem to be noisy or anything. And so this is really fantastic news. And the idea is that I have run this one along with my 50s 6v6 American 385 Filmosound, and I have them both together in tandem, and that will be the sound, a really awesome sound, I think. And I'll show you that rig when I build it. But here we are. This is really my favourite. These are just fantastic amps for slide guitar. Let's go on the neck Tiesco 60s, 1960s Tiesco here. So really kind of chimey as well. You're kind of doing the So that is the Filmosound, the EL84 running at 240 volts. I could put money on this that you won't probably ever see one of these, unless you come and see me perform, of course. But you'll probably never ever see one of these again in the flesh, as they are super rare, and I'm just absolutely chuffed to have obtained this one. It was actually a while ago that I obtained it, but now it's going to be modified. I've taken it out of the cupboard. We're going to sort this out and get it gigging. So I look forward to posting some clips when it arrives back in Old England and it's ready for action. So God bless, guys, take care, and see you in the next video.